Hi guys, it's Sir Clem. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is my review of the Lohmar Toughrider. As with every bag, quality is important. This bag retails for around $60, and unfortunately I think its actual value is probably closer to around $30, and that's just due to the construction of the seams and the quality of the stitching that goes in this bag. As you can see, it fills up quite a bit of space and you can carry a lot of stuff in it, but due to the weaknesses of the stitching and kind of the design flaws that go into this bag, I would not recommend this for anything that's going to be a heavy-duty use. I would personally use this for like clothes or something like that if I was going to travel. It has the space to take a lot of stuff, but not the strength to hold up to that. That is especially visible when you look at these straps. These are very thin, very flimsy straps, and the back padding itself, while it does have a decent amount of squishiness to the foam, there's nothing else in here to offer any kind of support. And it does not have adjustable load lifters. So when you put this on with it full, it will start to drag down, especially if there's any sort of weight in here. The adjustment on these straps is okay as it's fully out compared to pulling it fully in to make it tight and snug. It does have a reasonable amount of adjustment for it. It does have the chest buckle. It will ride okay, but again, due to the flimsier nature of the construction and the stitching, I would not load this thing full of a lot of weight in order to preserve the bag for a lengthy period of time. One of the redeeming features of this bag, if you are going to use it to transport something like clothes, is this expansion zipper that you can see right here. This does add one pillow size to this bag if you are going to be loading it full. We are going to unpack it using the pillow standard, the standard I devised to help you visualize stuff a little bit better at home and make fun of officers, so that's a win-win. In this topmost compartment here, it is pretty thin. You can fit maybe some pens, pencils, or documents, but there is not a lot of space to it. It does not normally come with this Velcro. I stitched it on in order to cover up this ugly Army National Guard sewing that they had done on the outside. It does have a little bit of molle, but this molle is a little bit flimsy and the size is not super consistent across the front, so I would not put anything of weight on that. In this next bigger compartment here, we have the space to fit roughly one whoopee. And it does have a smaller internal mesh bag for you to be able to put something in there. And finally, it has the main compartment. In here, I was able to fit pretty comfortably 3 standard size bed pillows. There is no internal compartment for a hydration bladder or any smaller mesh bags or anything else. It's just one giant open compartment. One thing that this bag does do pretty well is it crushes down relatively small for its size using the side straps. While you could, in theory, hook something to the outside, I probably wouldn't, again, because the stitching is not super secure on here. When it is in its crush capacity, it is pretty small relative to its carrying capacity. I probably would still not put a lot in the secondary compartment because it doesn't crush with the main compartment, and so it will give you a little bit of wiggle room in there. It does have a little bit of Velcro on the bottom for something like a name tape, and I am aware that there are different versions of this bag that do have a second zippered compartment here. That's not the one I have, and there doesn't seem to be, from what I can find, a separate designating factor for you to know which bag you're going to get. But overall, for what it is, if you are using it for a travel bag that's not going to experience extremely heavy use, this probably is a pretty good deal. All in all, even though it does not have the greatest of durability, it does have some pretty good carrying capacity for its size, 3 pillows and a whoopee, but it's hard to say if it's worth the full retail price for the flimsiness. If you're going to pay this much for a bag of this size, you would expect it to be a little bit better quality on the stitching, but again, if you're going to use it for a more casual task or traveling, I do think this probably would serve you pretty well. So I hope this was very helpful to you guys, that you got to learn something. As always, thanks again for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time.